welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautiful Tuesday to dive deep into the absolute madness happening in Genoa City right now. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and my brain is just absolutely frying itself trying to process everything happening with the upcoming April 14th episode. Here's what's bugging me. We have Kane Ashby. Right. Kane is currently on a scorched earth revenge path against Victor Newman and Lily Winters because of that whole fake kidnapping scheme. He is furious, like, beyond furious, but then Holden Novak just casually drops this massive, life-altering bomb on him. Holden tells Kane that he is Lily's half-brother. Wait, let me back up. Actually, no. First, I should mention that Kane literally just tried to hire Holden to pump Claire for intel on Victor. Kane offered him a massive payout. Holden rejected it. And now, instead of just walking away, Holden is standing there spilling his deepest, darkest family secrets to Kane. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Why is Holden confiding in the guy who just tried to bribe him into corporate espionage? I mean, I guess Holden is just overwhelmed. He just found out Dr. Stephanie Simmons lied to him his entire life about his parentage and that his real dad is Malcolm Winters. And not only that, but Malcolm has aplastic anemia and is literally dying. Holden tells Kane all of this, including the tragic fact that Holden himself is not a bone marrow match. Which, by the way, I still firmly believe Audra Charles tampered with those test results because she was eavesdropping at society. But that's a whole other rabbit hole I don't have the energy to go down right now. Or maybe I do. No, wait. Let's stick to Kane. So Kane is standing there, absorbing the fact that the Winters family, the family he is currently at war with, is in the middle of a massive medical crisis. And then Holden drops the real kicker. Maddie and Charlie are being tested. Kane's twins, Kane's children. They are out in LA, presumably just living their lives, and now they are being dragged into this because they might be the only ones who can save Malcolm's life. How is Kane supposed to process this? He was just tricked into thinking his kids were kidnapped, and now their DNA is the focal point of a life-or-death family drama. But the most fascinating part of this entire interaction is Kane's reaction to Lily's situation. Holden tells him that Lily cannot donate because of her history with cancer. What was I saying? Oh right, Lily's cancer. I think it was around 2010, or maybe 2011. Somewhere around there when she had ovarian cancer, it was a huge, emotional storyline. And now, all these years later, that trauma is coming back to haunt her because it disqualifies her from saving her father's life. And Kane is heartbroken for her. Despite the fact that Lily literally conspired with Victor Newman to emotionally torture Kane and steal his company, Kane feels profound grief for her in this moment. It just proves that deep down, the love is still there. I mean, not exactly, but kind of. He hates what she did, but he can't stand to see her in this kind of helpless pain, or maybe not. I don't know, maybe he's just reacting as a human being. But it definitely softens him, which makes me wonder if this is the turning point for their relationship. Okay, wait, let's talk about Lily for a second because her behavior is completely baffling me right now. The spoilers say Lily is anxiously confiding in Stephanie about Malcolm's condition and how terrified she is if the twins aren't a match. Wait, hold on. Didn't Lily just find old financial documents proving that Stephanie stole Holden's trust fund or inheritance? I could have sworn she did. Yes, she did. She is literally building a case to expose Stephanie for massive financial fraud. So why on earth is Lily having a vulnerable, heart-to-heart moment with this woman? Actually, maybe it makes perfect sense. Lily is desperate. She is completely isolated. Devin is furious at her. Nate won't speak to her, and she is terrified of losing Malcolm. Stephanie is a doctor, and she's the only one who truly understands the medical reality of Malcolm's aplastic anemia. Lily might just be compartmentalizing. She's putting the fraud investigation in a box because right now, she just needs someone to tell her that Malcolm is going to survive. It's basically a trauma bond. But then again, that doesn't explain why Lily wouldn't just lean on Tracy Abbott instead. Tracy is right there. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? The point is Lily is a mess, and Stephanie is playing the role of the comforting mother figure while secretly being a massive fraud. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. What if Lily is playing Stephanie? What if Lily is pretending to be a vulnerable, emotional wreck to keep Stephanie's guard down while she finalizes the evidence against her? That would be a classic Victor Newman move, and we all know Lily has been taking pages out of Victor's playbook lately. Probably doesn't matter, but I notice Lily has been way more calculating since she came back. But speaking of Victor Newman and his messy web of destruction, let's completely shift gears and talk about the Abbott-Newman drama. Because my brain is just exploding over this Nikki and Diane interaction. Nikki Newman is reaching out to Diane Jenkins Abbott to propose a truce. Let that sink in. Nikki and Diane making peace. I must be hallucinating because these two have despised each other for actual decades. Why is Nikki doing this? Okay, let's analyze Nikki's motivations. Nikki has reached her absolute breaking point with Victor. Victor crossed every conceivable line when he kidnapped Jack, trapped him on that abandoned yacht, and unleashed an unstable Patty Williams on him just to ruin his marriage and steal back Newman Enterprises. Nikki is disgusted. She is currently teaming up with Jack to execute a massive, scorched earth revenge plot against Victor. But Jack is distracted. Jack is an absolute wreck because Diane has moved out and refuses to forgive him for the Patty Williams incident. Nikki needs Jack focused on the corporate takeover, so she probably thinks that if she can broker a peace treaty with Diane, Diane will take Jack back, and Jack can focus on destroying Victor. But Diane completely rejects Nikki's olive branch, and honestly, I am so here for it. Diane is completely, 100% justified in shutting this down. Diane tells Nikki she has zero interest in making peace or fixing their respective marriages. Diane is still too furious at Jack. Yes, Jack was drugged. Yes, Jack was a victim of Victor and Patty's twisted game. But Diane is operating from a place of deep, primal betrayal. She can't just flip a switch and forgive him. But here is the truly fascinating psychological part. Diane doesn't just reject Nikki. She totally flips the script and blames Nikki for the entire situation. Diane basically looks Nikki in the eye and says, "You enabled Victor all these years. You let him become this monster. You stood by him while he did horrible things to other people. So you have no right to be surprised that he finally crossed a line that disgusts you." And she's kind of right. I mean, Victor's history of abuse and manipulation is legendary. Nikki has always been his apologist. Diane is holding a mirror up to Nikki's complicity. And then Diane goes even deeper, and this is the part that kept me up until 3 a.m. Diane brings up Jack's toxic loyalty to Nikki. Diane points out that Jack's obsession with saving Nikki is the exact reason Victor targeted him in the first place. Diane explicitly references that time Jack faked a relapse. Do you guys remember this? It was years ago. Jack literally took pills in a room at the GCAC with Nikki just to scare her into going to rehab for her alcoholism. It was a massive, dramatic gesture. Diane brings this up. She uses it as proof that Jack will always put Nikki first, even at the expense of his own well-being. Diane realizes that Victor didn't just randomly choose Jack to torture with Patty Williams. Victor specifically targeted Jack because Victor is insanely jealous and threatened by Jack's eternal bond with Nikki. Victor hates that Jack is Nikki's safe space, so Victor punished Jack for it. Diane is setting a massive boundary here. She's saying, "I'm not just mad that Jack was on a yacht with Patty. I'm mad that Jack's codependent, savior-complex relationship with you, Nikki, has put a permanent target on his back. And by extension, my back." It makes so much sense. It is brilliant continuity. It's weird. Like, really weird how deep this goes. Diane is refusing to be collateral damage in the eternal Victor, Nikki and Jack love triangle of doom. She is removing herself from the narrative. But then again, doesn't that push Jack further into Nikki's revenge plot? If Diane completely closes the door, Jack has absolutely nothing left to lose. His marriage is over, his heart is broken, the only thing left for him is pure, unadulterated vengeance. If Diane is out, Jack is going to go so hard against Victor that Genoa City might actually burn to the ground. And Nikki will be right there with him. But wait, what does this mean for Patty Williams? Patty is still roaming around, probably looking for a new ally. What if Patty teams up with Audra? Or what if Patty goes after Diane to permanently remove her from Jack's life? My brain is moving faster than my typing right now. Let's circle back to Kane for a second because I feel like I lost my train of thought there. If Kane is softening toward Lily because of Malcolm's illness and the twins being tested, does that mean Kane is going to drop his revenge plot against her? He told Holden he wanted to pump Claire for intel on Victor, but maybe Kane will pivot. What if Kane teams up with Jack and Nikki? Think about it. Kane hates Victor for the fake kidnapping. Jack hates Victor for the yacht. Nikki hates Victor for being a monster. If Kane, Jack, and Nikki form an alliance, Victor is completely surrounded. Let's talk about Maddie and Charlie for a second. We haven't seen them on screen in a while, but their presence is looming so heavily over this storyline. They are out in Los Angeles, right? They probably have their own lives, their own drama, and suddenly they get a call from Lily saying, "Hey, your grandfather, who you barely know, is dying of a rare blood disease. And your mom can't save him because she had cancer, and your new secret Uncle Holden isn't a match, so we need your bone marrow." That is a massive emotional burden to place on these kids, and Kane knows that. Kane knows his children are being thrust into the center of the Winters family chaos. And you have to wonder, how does Kane feel about Lily making that call? Does he resent her for involving them? Or does he understand that it's life or death? I mean, Malcolm is a legend. But Kane's protective instincts have to be screaming right now. He was just manipulated into thinking these exact children were kidnapped and in mortal danger. His nervous system is already completely shot. And now there is a real, actual medical threat involving them. It's poetic irony in the darkest, most twisted way possible. Victor faked a crisis, and now the universe has delivered a real one. And going back to Stephanie, I just can't shake the feeling that Stephanie is going to use this medical crisis to manipulate Lily. If Lily is confiding in her, Stephanie has all the power. Stephanie knows Lily is desperate. What if Stephanie figures out that Lily knows about the stolen trust fund? Stephanie could totally use Malcolm's treatment as leverage. She could say, "If you expose my financial crimes, I walk away, and Malcolm loses his doctor." That would be so evil, but honestly, after lying about Holden for decades, I wouldn't put it past her. What was I saying? Oh right, Diane, and Nikki. The fact that Diane threw the GCAC relapse in Nikki's face is just top-tier soap opera history. It shows that Diane hasn't forgotten anything. She knows exactly who these people are. She knows Jack has a savior complex. She knows Nikki is a victim who also enables her abuser, and she knows Victor is a sociopath. Diane is arguably the smartest person in the room right now by just walking away from all of them. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Diane is just being stubborn and is going to regret pushing Jack away when Patty inevitably tries to murder someone again. Because let's be real, Patty is a ticking time bomb. If Diane isn't careful, her refusal to make peace might just leave her vulnerable. But anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? The point is the emotional stakes right now are off the charts. Kane is heartbroken but angry. Lily is desperate but calculating. Nikki is vengeful but guilty. Diane is justified but isolated. And Jack is just broken. Okay, I need to stop rambling. My brain is fried. I'm going to go rewatch that GCAC relapse scene because now I need to analyze Jack's facial expressions from 5 years ago to see if Diane's theory holds up. I'll probably be up until 4 a.m. The Diane and Nikki confrontation is going to be epic. Kane's emotional breakdown is going to be heartbreaking. And Lily is just swimming in a sea of anxiety and fraud. It's too much. It's literally too much, but I can't wait to watch it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I am clearly losing my mind over here.